Hello everybody, Laurie here from Unique in the Creek. Say hello when you pop in. Let me know where you're watching from. We are currently streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And today I'm going to put together one of the kits. Unfortunately, it is sold, fortunately for us, but unfortunately for you guys, it is sold out. However, you know, you can check on uniqueinthecreek.com. We still have some really fabulous kits. Some of them I haven't put together or done the tutorial yet, so they will be coming. The tutorials will be coming. Hello, hello, and thanks for joining me, guys. Okay, so this is why the kit sold out so fast. This is one of the most popular signs that we put in our kits. It's the embossed Santa. It is metal, and I paired it with a 2.5-inch ribbon. Hello, hello. Black and white check ribbon with the exact Santa face as the sign. And I also, and these are really good ribbons. This ribbon, this 1.5-inch ribbon, is a green snowdrift edge with a red velvet center. So using this red and green, I'm pulling in some of the green from his hat. Okay, we got this fabulous extra large wide foil border stripe mesh we're going to be using. So this was also in the kit. And also you got 3 of these ball picks in the kit. So there was 3 of them. I've kind of pulled them apart already. And I'll show you how we're going to pull them apart. And then, of course, your zip ties and pipe cleaners and cable mounts and all that jazz. Okay? So let's get started. I know it's a very adorable face. And sells out very quickly. All right, we are using the Unique in the Creek oval board. Okay, this doesn't have a lot of component or pieces to it. We're only going to be doing 7 spots on the oval. Okay, so what you need to cut if you want to make it like me, I have cut 14 pieces of this gorgeous mesh at 24 inches. Okay, 14 of them. We're going to do something a little different than we've done before, as usual. I always like to do different. So 14 pieces, and then you need 7 pieces of your 2.5-inch ribbon and 7 pieces of your 1.5-inch ribbon. Okay, so I've already cut my mesh. I have my 14 pieces at 24 inches already. The Santa sign is 13 inches by 10 inches, just a little over 10. And we're going to be attaching our Santa sign right to the board and just decorating around it. It's a cool concept I came up with, and I really, really like the end results. So I'm going to continue doing it. Okay, so we need 7, like I said, 7 of each ribbon at 14 inches. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 already. So if you have a Measure Buddy, you can use your Measure Buddy to cut your 14-inch pieces. If you don't, just use your measuring tape that you got in your kit. You will need your scissors. Here we are. Okay, and you're going to cut 7 pieces at 14 inches. So there's 1, 2, 3, so I'm just using my measuring tape here. So that's 3, or you can do 14, pull number 1 out all the way from your measure buddy and wrap it around. So there's 1, 2, 3. That's all I need right now. However you cut your ribbon, you need 7 of each right now. Okay, and then we're going to fold over lengthwise, and you're going to cut from the folded edge to the outside corner like that. So you're going to make a nice dovetail. Again, fold both sides over, and there you go. So there's 3. Now I do the Santas. And the Santa heads on the ribbon does match this sign. And we're going to add that little touch of black in there with this ribbon, which is going to make it look really cool. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining me. If you guys wouldn't mind floating my boat or sending me over the falls, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so there's our ribbons. So I'm going to fold. I like to make my little ribbon packets. So I have everything ready and prepared to put my wreath together. So I'm just folding them in half. This is such a nice ribbon, the velvet with the border. Oh, forgot to dovetail this end. Okay, and then I'm just going to slide these in my little packets of ribbon and put them to the side. So I have 7 of these. Okay, so my ribbon's done, my mesh is done, and now I'm going to pull apart my ball picks. So you do get 3 of these, and they're really super cute and fun. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to pull them apart, and I'm going to make sets of 2 with them. So just take it and rip it. It's just taped on with like a paper tape. So I'm ripping these apart. Okay, this is garbage. And then I'm just going to pair together 2. Okay, so I'm going to use a big ball, which is the striped, and a smaller ball. Just cross it and then take one of them and just kind of twist it together at the bottom. Okay, they're kind of curled and curly cues already. So you can see I've made sets of 2s. Alrighty, so now we have 1, 2, 3, so tangled 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 sets of little ball things that we're going to use. So I just kind of twist at the bottom. Okay, so now our ball picks are ready to use. Our mesh is done. Our ribbon's done. We can get started. On my board, I have written what I'm going to be using and where I'm going to be using it. So like I said, I'm going to put the Santa on the board before we even get started. Now on the back of the sign, there is one of the alligator clips or alligator hangers. or sawtooth, whatever you call them. It is on the back of the sign. I'm going to remove the tacky sticker. There we go. Now, you do get the cable mount and some pipe cleaners in your packet. You can put the cable mount at the bottom of Santa on the back side, okay? Or if you have a hole punch, a metal hole punch, you can punch a little hole as well. So if you have the tool, I would highly recommend punching the hole in it. And if you don't, you just use take a pipe, one of the pipe cleaners, put it through your cable mount. Okay, we're gonna take that sticker off. Now, this is sticky, but it doesn't stay sticky for long. So if you can, I would highly recommend using some E6000 or this awesome tape that Jackie Blewett from Team Unique has found that works amazing on metal signs. Okay, you just need a little tiny piece. It's a double-sided automotive tape. It works fantastic. Okay, with your cable mount, or the best way, if you can, is just to punch a hole in the bottom. Okay, so however you do it, we're going to do one at the bottom, and we're just going to use that alligator or sawtooth clamp that's already, or clip that's already on the sign at the top. Okay, so we're going to put a pipe cleaner. Now, if you want to keep it really neat and tidy on the back, you can use a zip tie. Okay, you do get 100 zip ties. So I'll show you how to do that right now. So I think I might just put I have the hole punch. I might just put a punch down here. Yeah, why not? There we go. So I just got this. If you're looking for a little metal hole punch, it just makes a very tiny hole, but it's enough to get a pipe cleaner going through it. I just got this on Amazon. It was not very expensive at all. Just type in metal hole punch, and it's just like that. And then you can just, your pipe cleaner will go right through. All right. I don't know if it's zip tie. Yeah, it's too small for the zip tie, so we'll just use pipe cleaner. Now I'm just going to half this pipe cleaner because we can use 1/2 on each, the top and the bottom. Yes, it's thank you, Tina Kelly, 3M molding tape. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to go through the bottom, give it a twist, put this half one on the top, again, give it a twist. And now, where I am placing the Santa, okay, on the oval board, you'll see 1 and 2, okay, the number 1 and the number 2. Now, I've written on here, because this is going to be my pattern. So where the 1 and 2 is, go to the left, right here, to the left. I'm not using, we're going to be skipping rows, so I'm not using this row. I will be using this row, and I have put a WR to remind me that I'm going to put a woodland ruffle here. Okay, so where I'm putting my Santa head is the next row. So 1, 2, 3 rows from the center here. I'm putting the top of my Santa head. I'm going to use these 2 holes and just go down. Oh no, sorry, I'm going to use the 2 inner holes, I think. Hold on. Because at the bottom, straight down at the bottom, there we go, yeah. So straight down at the bottom is where my first piece at the bottom is going to go. So 1 over is where I'm putting the bottom of Santa's beard. So I'm going to go through the 2 holes here. Just loosely twist it. And I was right. I am going the 2 outer holes here. And there we go. So I'm going to pull it nice and tight so it's right to the board. And I will flip it over. So 1 right there. And then at the bottom here, twisting. And our Santa is on. Okay. So our design is going to start here. So we're going to start here, skip this, right down the center, skip here, skip here. So that's how we got 7 pieces, okay? Where's my red marker? 1, we're skipping this one, 2, skipping, 3, skipping, 4, skipping, 5, skipping, 6 right down the center, skipping, and 7. Okay, what I also marked on here is the 2 end pieces. I'm going to be doing a woodland ruffle on these 2. Just those 2 rows. These rows, I'm going to do what I'm calling, it's a layered ruffle. I don't know what else to call it. And I'll show you in a sec. Hello, hello. But first we are going to load our board. So we need 7 zip ties. Okay. I'm going to go use the out hole 1 to hole 1.5. So I'm loading 1 zip tie, skipping this row, row 1 to 1.5, and I'm leaving them open. I'm trying a different design. I don't know how it's going to look, but in my head it looks great. Hello everybody, thanks for joining me. Trying to get as many lives as I can get done before the traveling starts. I have a vacation planned and I also have to go to Chicago for work. So trying to get as many live tutorials done as I possibly can. Okay. So that's what we have right at the moment, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we are going to make our woodland ruffle. Now, I got you to cut 24 pieces, or 24-inch pieces, 14 of them. I'm going to do the woodland ruffle a little bit different. So you're going to take 2 pieces of that 24-inch, okay? I'm going to take something, just something heavy, just to keep it open for me. Okay, and this is curl up we're using. So when I let go of this, it'll curl up on itself, and that's how I call it, curl up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll. Now you can use the inner part of the mesh. I still have some left, but you can use that to roll it, or you can just roll it on your own. So 1, 2, 3. So I went around about 3 times, and meaning I could see the inner seam 3 times as I went around. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a clip on that to help hold that curl. Okay, and then I'm going to just fold this in just a little bit and pinch right up the middle. Now I know you're thinking, well, I thought you were doing a woodland ruffle. We're gonna. So there's the half of the woodland ruffle. I guess I could have got you guys to cut 2 pieces at 45 inches. Would probably have been easier, but I kept it, you know, the 24 inches right across the board, so we use up the whole roll and it's not confusing. So again, I'm taking another piece, just gonna roll 1, 2, 3, and you can see through the mesh, when you're rolling it, the seam of it. And then I'm gonna pinch and pleat right down the center to the end. And I'm going to combine these 2 pieces together, because you only need 2 woodland ruffles. Okay? You could either, like I said, it was just easier for me to get you guys to cut, you know, 14 pieces and then put together the woodland ruffle, or you can cut 10 pieces and then 2 pieces at 45 inches. Anyways, whatever way you do it, make a woodland ruffle. I'm going to put a zip tie around it so I don't have to hold it because it's pretty thick. Okay. And there we go. So you need 2 woodland ruffles. So you need to do this twice. Okay. We will be using it with the curls upwards. So there's 1. Where did my second one go? And there's my second one. Okay. So these 2 are going to be going at the ends. Now in the middle, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to do a simple ruffle. But what I want to do is I'm going to layer 2 ruffles on top of each other. I just want to see how it looks when we're finished. So what I mean by that is we're going to make 10 of these. Okay, 10 of these. And to make 10 of those, you're going to take your mesh. Now, this is curl up, right? We're going to do it curl down. I just find it a little bit easier to ruffle. Curl down when I'm just doing a simple ruffle. So, put it straight out in front of you. I'm going to take a zip tie because I've been zip tying my ruffles lately and I really like that. So, because I'm not struggling then. And then I'm just going to go pinching and dragging my mesh straight up the center till you hit the other end. Okay? Then you have this beautiful, like, pinwheel ruffle. And I'm going to put a zip tie around it. Like I said, you got 100 zip ties, and we're not using very many at all, so. All right, so you need 10 of those. I'm going to do one more. Yeah, I like the zip tying the mesh. If you don't, you know, you can use clips or whatever, but if you have the whole pack, you know, they're less than pennies a zip tie. So I'm not going to do it super tight. I want to make sure that each side is even. So the border stripes should be almost matching if you make a circle like this. No, there's no more kits this year. I did mention that last week, that last week's kits were the end of the kits for 2023. We did 91 kits in 2023. So hopefully we will have our kits back for spring, summer in January. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we are going to, it doesn't matter where you start. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of glue under my Santa as well. So I'm just going to put some glue in it, Laurie. So just go under where there's a solid part of the board. You can just pump some glue. You don't have to because it is secure, but just so it doesn't flop around. And push. There we go. Now it doesn't move at all. All right, so let's start at the bottom. So I'm going to take one of these balls. Okay, we made 8 sets of 2 balls, right? And I kept them fairly long. I just ripped them right off the stem, and then I twisted one around the bottom here. I'm going to kind of bend it and put it just on the board in between the zip tie there. Okay. Now, if you have your glue gun, it's probably, like, if you have a glue gun, it's probably a good idea just to put a little bit of glue right over top. And I'm going to go around and do that to all of them. It's just, like I said, I'm doing something a little bit different than I normally do, just to see how it works. So I'm doing striped ball, red and white, stripe and white, so that's the nice thing about the board, is you can just put a strip of glue right over top. Okay. Now I'm going to take my woodland ruffle. Okay. Put it right in the center, in between the zip tie tail and head. It's already zip tied in the middle, so I just have to put the whole thing right down. Like I said, I have the curls facing upwards. Then I'm going to take one of my ribbon packs. Okay, there's the Santa I'm putting on the bottom. I'm putting the velvet green on the top. I'm going to pinch it right in the center of your ribbons, just like that. Okay, put it on top, and then we're going to come around. Push down in the center, come around with your zip tie. Now, where's my pink? There we are. So I use these as like needle nose pliers. So I want to put the head of the zip tie to the side here. Pull, oops, and then cut. So now we have our pick in there. And then you can move your ribbon tails around, but we can do that afterwards. All right, so the next one is just going to be one of these flat ruffles. And what I'm wanting to try is I want to pin this back so you guys can see. Now you won't have to do this if you're making your own wreath. I just want to pin it back so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to take one of these ruffle things and putting it right on the top so that the zip tie that's on the board is right in the middle. Okay, then I'm going to take another one and kind of turn it. Okay, I'm turning it so it's not going in the same way on top. I'm just kind of turning it, but it's still going to be able to come around with your zip tie. All right. Let's see how that, it looks really cool at the side. It's like a layered ruffle. And then I'm going to put my ribbon tails in. Again, pinching up the middle. Just put that on top, and then we're going to come around, push down in the middle, and come around with your zip tie. Now, if you want to use pipe cleaners, you'll probably be able to get a better angle on these layered ruffles, but I like zip ties. I like to bring it around the center, and there we go. So it's like a double ruffle. I don't know if you guys can see that from the side. Isn't that cool? Especially with this mesh, it really makes it really cool looking. And then again, we will move out our ribbons and stuff. Move this over. Now there's a ton of different tutorials on our YouTube channel that you can use whatever oval one that you like. If you don't like this one, like I said, I don't know how it's going to turn out. But we will see. I don't know, just to be different. Somebody asked about why the double ruffle. It's just to be different, because you look at the side and you can see the double. So I'm just kind of going around and putting my line of glue so it'll be dry. And then we have two left, that because we're going to do a bow and all that stuff too, so you got to trust the process. All right. Okay, I'm going to take two of these again. One on, second one, oh, kind of just twisting it a bit. Should get my ribbon tails ready. She's full. You would never know we only used 7 zipped, or like only 7 spots. Kind of bulky in there. Maybe I didn't need to zip tie the ruffles, but trial and error. Look at, can you, I don't know if you can see, with the double ruffle like that, it gives it just more, I would say texture, because there's a lot of ruffles going on in there. So it's kind of cool looking. I don't know. We'll have to see when it's done. But it's an easy way to put any of your picks and stuff. You can see how they're just kind of sticking out the top of the ruffle, right? And they are glued on and zip tied. I'm putting one, and then a second. Oops. Now, because I have two zip ties, it's kind of hard to push down in the middle because the two zip ties are on top of each other. I'm going to see what it looks like if I take those zip ties off. I do love this layered look though. Definitely brings a lot of dimension to the whole design. Huh. All right. I'm going to keep going with it. Here. Now I'm going to try and see if I undo the ruffle. See how the two are bumping. But I think that little extra space that the zip tie are bumping is making a really good size space to differentiate that there's two ruffles there. So maybe it's a good thing. I'm just going to continue. Looks like no, they're on there. This is extra. Oh, this one. No. Oh, yeah, it did. There's not very much glue on there. Okay, I'm just going to continue the way I'm doing it. And this, my friends, is how I come up with different and unique ideas, is just doing something different. See how that, oh, I love that look. All these stripy, poofy ruffles with this mesh is absolutely stunning. But it's hard to press down in the middle. Come on, there we go. Can't see. I know everybody is being very quiet. They're all concentrating. Ooh, pretty, pretty, pretty. My ribbon tails are getting lost because there's so much ruffles. But we'll pull them out this side. I am going to do a bow and some, a little bit of bridging, I think, with the ribbon. Okay, this is the last one of these. Push, there we go. Wow. All right, now is our woodland ruffle. I'll put this guy back in. Trying to remove this glue dot. Okay, then I'll just glue it this way. Now, if you don't have hot glue, you can just zip tie it in. Just hopefully nobody pulls on the ornaments, that's all. I like the mesh bundle too, the way it's, like I said, especially with this, but it's very, definitely won't fit between two doors, because I'll show you the side in 1 second once we get this last piece on. Okay, here's our woodland ruffle that we made. Move this over out of the way. We're going to put that ruffle on. I'm kind of angling it so that this doesn't go over his face. So I'm just going to kind of turn it like that. Ribbon on. Where's the zip tie? I don't want, I didn't want a big ruffle over his head. Okay, let's see what we got here. So there's the side. So you can see it's quite ruffly. So let's try opening our tails and see how things look. Sand one. So I'm opening the tail in a crisscross, but making sure that I'm not overlapping like a Santa with a Santa. So we're kind of going, if the Santas are going this way, the green is going to go the same way as the Santas on the next one. Pull out these. There's our balls. Make sure we can see our balls. Wow, this is a big wreath. I actually probably don't even need a bow or anything on it if I didn't want to. Okay, so that crinkling. Yes, this is an oval board. I think that crinkling sound's driving me nuts. And I'm just moving the balls on the outside, kind of just separating them. So it looks like there's a ball going all the way around. A little different, right? A little different. Pretty cool. So the ball is going all the way around the outside. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Oh yeah, you can see it. So there's one ball going around the outside of the whole thing, which is kind of cool looking. Oh, I forgot to do this one. So none of the two ribbons that are crossing over are the same. That's not bad. It's different. Look at, isn't that is kind of cool. So you can see the balls. Let's make sure they're spaced. I kind of like it. We're going to put a hanger with one of your zip ties. It is cute. So hanger on the hanging holes. I want to show you guys the side again so you can see like these layers of ruffles. It's actually kind of cool. It's actually not that thick, is it? But you can see these layers of ruffles. Gives it a really cool, different effect. Now, what should we do? However, I'm liking here. I think I might do just I don't know, a fun bow here and a fun bow just here. So that way I can just pull this out of the way to the side, and if I put a bow, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I was going to do some bridging with it. However, with how poofy our ruffles are, it would be very hard to bridge. And it would be very hard to put a bow up in this area because it is so high. It can be done, but I just think one like right here, a nice fun, and maybe even at the bottom. But even like this, it looks cool. This, okay, who loves these ball things? I love the balls, and they're like perfectly spaced going around the outside. And I didn't do that on purpose. It just happened to do that. But see, if I never played, I wouldn't do that. Oh, well, we have two whites together, but that's okay. If I didn't play with the designs and stuff, I wouldn't be able to, you know, see that it looks cool with the balls going around the outside. Anyways, let's make a bow. Just a simple one, because we didn't use very much stuff at all. We do still have 2 more balls. I will probably incorporate them up in here and here with my bow. Bridging is where you get your ribbon and you bring it to the next pipe cleaner, zip tie, twist, whatever, and it's making a bridge. I was going to do that, but because I did this style of ruffle, yeah, I think it's too deep. We'll use yeah. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I could incorporate the bridging in the bow, but I don't really think it's going to go with this design, honestly. Not from what I see, what it's finished looking like. So let's just do what I was thinking about doing. Okay, we're not going to use a lot of the ribbon because we already have some tails on there. So I'll just do 1 loop. We'll do another tail. So we did 14. So I'm going to do a 7-inch tail. And this is thick ribbon, so you have to pinch it in the center. And there's my 7-inch. I'm going to do a loop about 6 inches. Another loop, and God, this ribbon is thick. 6, and then cut my tail off at 7. Just like I said, simple bow because we already have tails going on here. Same with the green here. This too is also thick because it is velvet. Not sure how I'm going to do this yet, but oh, that's good. Pipe cleaner. I'm going to slide this off the bow. You can put a zip tie around it. Take one of your zip ties, come around the center. Bring that zip tie head to the back. Take one of your pipe cleaners, slide it under. Pull. Very simple bow. shoot, I was going to incorporate these. Okay, we'll figure that out. Dovetail our bow. Okay. And then the pipe cleaner is just going to go right over top of this right here. So just trying to figure out, yeah. That's good. So I'm just going down the same holes as I used the zip ties. Okay, we're just going to pull it down, make sure you're, because we want to use those tails that we put into the wreath. So make sure they're not folded underneath before you tie down your bow. So just give it a little pull till you feel resistance and twist it on the back. Okay, and then we're going to move these around. Open up your loops so you can kind of tell it's a... Oh, that is fun looking. Oh, that looks awesome. Do I have two of these? I do. I'm going to pop this off. And I'm going to put some glue and just set it in the center of this fabulous bow. Soup's cute. Look at that. You'd think I know what I was doing, and I absolutely had not a clue. Okay, let's do the same thing for the bottom here. Do another one. It is pretty gorgeous, right? Look at that. Pretty fun. Okay, 7-inch. Pinch this bad boy first. It's thick. Okay, 7-inch. Okay, your bad side's facing up if you're using your bow maker. We're going to come over. We're doing 6-inch, one 6-inch loop. Okay. And now we're going to do the same with the green, the red and green. Actually, I'm going to do this one 5-inch. Yeah. This one's a little bit long. It does work well, but we'll just do this one at a 5-inch. I want to see which one looks better. So we did do the Santas at 6-inch. But the loops on this one, I'm going to do 5. And my zip ties go. I know, right? So you never, don't judge your wreath unless it looks really like caca. But you always have to wait till the end. That's why I always say trust the process, because you know, you'll never know until you finish. I had not a clue. I've never done this technique before. Had no idea what it was going to look like. Just wanted to try something new. And what's the worst that can happen? You flip it over, you cut all the zip ties off, and you start again. Like it didn't take me long to do this. So you definitely have a lot of ribbon left over. So if you're making a wreath, you can incorporate you can incorporate some of this ribbon into like a centerpiece or a garland to match the wreath. Okay, we're going to go over top again. Okay, make sure that your tails that are still existing there, that they're not folded under. We want to use them. Okay, pull till you feel resistant, and I'm twisting it on the back. I'm trying to put Santas in between any green and red pieces. And we're not covering him up. That's super cute. And I'm going to take, again, the ball, the other one. We have 2 balls left. Where can we put these? I'll glue them somewhere. I don't want to waste them. We have these 2 little balls here. Actually, where is that? We have a double white. I don't want a double white, so I am going to pull that one off and replace it with this one. Oh, then I have a red. I'm such a doofus. Do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of stick it in the mesh, kind of in the center here, just so I don't waste them. I'm just putting glue where I just stuck the wire through the mesh. And then I'm going to do the same with the white one. There, kind of like that. And I'm not wasting them. Woo! I don't know how many times I told my kids, check my page first before you call me to make sure I'm not live. Anyways, doesn't this look like we put a ton of stuff? We did not put a ton of stuff, my friends. It's super, super cool. And then you want to clean up where we put those ribbons, or that bow. Let's cut these off and put them back down the hole. Again, if you're gifting this, you can write a little note on the back. Put your business card on the back. There we go. That is so cool. Looks like Santa's just kind of peeking out from behind it, which is a really cool look too. So I make it look easy. Well, all you have to do is literally do the same thing. Go step by step along with me on the replay. Okay, I know it's really full. It's that double ruffle. That double ruffle makes it look so full, and you get all that ruffle, like all that red and white in there, with this little pop of black and the little pop of green that brings out the green in his hat. Super cute. And then we have almost, yeah, we got 3/4 of the roll still left. So you don't use a lot of the ribbon. Definitely, and the same with this. So you can incorporate, like I said, the ribbons and stuff into a centerpiece or garland to match your wreath. Or save it and make another one. Cool, eh? And this measures, let's see how big it is. We're looking at 30 inches long and 22 inches wide. 30 long, and to the end of his hat, to the end of the ball, is 30 inches. Almost looks like a half moon with Santa peeking out. I like it. I like it. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for joining me. And tonight, don't forget, Jackie Bluett's live at 7 or 8 p.m. It is Wednesday. I will be live, popping on live. So make sure you've clicked that little bell up top for the notifications on Facebook and YouTube, guys. Just click subscribe. I'm going to be popping on for the next couple weeks, all throughout the days. I have a whole bunch of projects I need to show you guys and get done. So it's just whenever I have a free window of time is when I'm going to jump on. So if you're not subscribed and if you don't have your notifications on, I do send a message through Telegram. So those of you that are still, that have subscribed to the whole Telegram thing, I have been trying my best to send out the messages, but Jackie's doing a snow girl wreath. What? There you go. Anyways, 1 roll of mesh. I didn't even use the whole roll. I still have like 1/4 of a roll left. We used 7 pieces at 14 inches of the tails. We did a 2-loop bow on each side. And we did the whole like ball effect around the outside, which is kind of cool. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.